Welcome back to the 5 best DFS tips for week 4 with our resident DFS expert, Jordan Vanek. Today, we're talking about the best player from each position to be taken this week from a DFS perspective. Start from quarterback, work our way down. Jordan, who is your favorite quarterback play this week in DFS?
It is surprisingly Bryce Young. Over on DraftKings, he is 5,200. They're taking on the Minnesota Vikings. I know he's coming off an ankle injury, but it seems to be good to go. And against this Minnesota pass defense, he's going to have his way with it. This is the first defense that he's facing that I think he's in a plus matchup, because the one thing about Bryce Young is his mind is better than most. And when Brian Flores is blitzing at the rate that he did last week, which was 84% against Justin Herbert, I think Bryce Young can take advantage of it. Last time he was out there, he averaged 8 yards per attempt against the blitz against the Saints. They just only blitzed him 16% of the time.
Obviously, Bryce Young has a plus matchup. Do you worry about him reaching like that QB1 overall ceiling this week, or is this more of just a value play so you can spend up more at other positions?
This is a value play. Bryce Young at 5,200 doesn't need to do much, and it allows me to save a lot of salary at the quarterback position and go get the studs that are in plus even better matchups this weekend.
Let's go to the running back position. Who is the first player that you'd probably be going for as far as the running back position? There's a lot of options. There's a lot of injuries. Like, where is the place to go as far as week 4?
I'm looking at James Cook. He's run extremely well this year. Now we're getting him a game against Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, they're not going to let Josh Allen throw over the top. That's just what their MO is. And Vic Fangio, when he played Josh Allen last 2 times, he has given him this light box on over 80% of dropbacks. James Cook against it has to get going in the run game so that Josh Allen can throw it down the field to Stephon Diggs and company. So I think this is a game for James Cook to step up, and we know how good that Miami offense is. They might want to keep them off the field.
Even though there is the most wide receivers of any position that you probably have to cover in DFS, that has been your best bread maker so far this season. Can we keep the streak going? Who is the wide receiver you're going to for this week?
So obviously the value plays are Adam Thielen and DJ Chark with Bryce Young. But to give you one receiver that I think needs to be talked about more, it's Chris Olave. Tampa Bay Buccaneers have gone 3 straight weeks where they've given over 100 yards to the opposing number 1 wide receiver. One of those was DJ Moore, which is very surprising to me. I forgot he had over 100 yards in that game. I can't believe the Bears had 100 yards in a game at this point. So Chris Olave, Jameis Winston's out there. Jameis Winston, when he was playing, Chris Olave saw a ton of targets, especially against single high coverages, which is what I think the Saints are going to, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to do. They're missing some corners this week. So Chris Olave is my guy that I think booms this week and finally finds the end zone.
I am and always will be here for any and all Chris Olave hype. But what about the tight end position? We talk about it every week. The most thin position, we already saw 2 really good options play on Thursday night. So where does that leave us for Sunday? Are we paying up? Are we going low? Like, where are we finding ourselves right now?
I've gone a little bit low to Gerald Everett. Gerald Everett is the guy that I think is actually going to be the number 3 target for Justin Herbert as we go forward. I think obviously Austin Eckler and Keenan Allen will be leading the way without Mike Williams. Everybody expects Quentin Johnson or Josh Palmer to step up. I see Gerald Everett kind of being that guy. Last week, 6 targets, 30 yards, which isn't a lot. But if he scored a touchdown, he would have been one of the best tight ends on the entire slate. So Gerald Everett's my guy this week.
And defense, the most overlooked position when it comes to DFS, but can be the one that takes you to the promised land. Where is that defensive value right there for you this week?
Monitoring the injury news in Baltimore is going to be key, because if they do not have Linderbaum or Ronnie Stanley, I don't know if Lamar is going to have time to throw. That Colts game, they got pressure on him constantly. And now you have the Browns, who have a way better defensive line. Their corners are going to get up in your face and press you at the line of scrimmage. Obviously, we saw them just dominate Tennessee. I think this is a game where they could dominate the D-line in Baltimore. And Lamar still is fumbling. He's still having some of those issues. This could be a game where they get multiple turnovers.
Yeah, I don't think that it has been talked about enough just how good this Browns defense is. And this is something that we've talked about on and off the show of just how great they've been so far. And I think they're going to continue to surprise people and put people on notice, obviously. But don't forget for everybody to tune in every single Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern time for more DFS goodness, 5 resident tips with our best DFS expert, Jordan Vanek. But again, don't forget to tune in next week and chase that upside.